No, students. So we're just finished with the structure here now. So we're going to start on the data. And the first thing I want to do is to put in the rooms. Okay. So there's three things we need to do before we start dropping in rooms. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a room schedule. Okay. So as I come down here to our schedules and quantities, and there are a few schedules in here that are not really necessary to this project, so I'm just going to delete those. Okay. And I've got a few other bits and pieces in here that I've been playing around with, carbon schedules and curtain wall panel takeoff, things like that. And we'll come to all of those later. So we're going to right click on our schedules, new schedule and quantities. Let's scroll down to RST rooms. Okay, so we want the area. We want the level, very important. We want the name. Okay, you could do occupancy here. You've got that information worked out, but there's nothing else really that I need here at the moment. Right, so I'm going to move the name up to the top and I'll move the level next and we will go. That'll suffice for the moment, all right? Now, even though I didn't have the room schedule before, I've obviously put in some rooms here already. And to be honest with you, I don't want those. So what I'm going to do, the only way you can actually safely delete a room when you go into your plan and say you've got a room in here or something like that, and you click the tag and you delete it and you think the room is gone. Well, it's not. You need to create a room schedule and select the not placed rooms or the rooms that you want to delete, and you go up to here and you delete those. Okay. Now that means your room and your tag and everything has been deleted, like so. Okay, now, so we've got a name, we've got a level, and we've got an area. That's good enough to start with. Second thing that we need to do is we need to do a little adjustment on the tag, on the room tag as such. So if I come down to your annotation symbols, I'm going to use the medium tag here. Okay, so I want you to right click that and go edit. All right, now I have it open here already. So this is what you have here. So here's a label for the number. There's a separate label for the room name, which is, let's just edit that one and take a look at it. Yes, the room name. Now, there's no way of picking up any data for the room name. It just has to be typed in, and that's the data that you'll get. And then you've got an option for square meters and square feet here. Now, the one I want to change is this one. I don't want a number, right? But what I definitely do want is a level, okay? Because we're going to have repetition of bathrooms and living rooms and sitting rooms and halls and all sorts of things. And the only way we can distinguish those is with a level. So it could be on basement level, ground level, first floor, second floor, and whatever. So it'd be the second floor bathroom, the third floor bathroom, and such. And that's really important to be able to distinguish those there. So I'm going to take the number out. I'm going to put the level in there. Okay. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to take a look at these tags here. And I like all my tags to be left and middle. Okay. And also, let's check. I want these to be 2mm as well. And I want them to be opaque, which means that we can see in behind them. All right. So I need to do that with each of the labels here for this tag. So 2.5, you can see, oh, sorry. I want them to be transparent, not opaque. Right. Let's get back in there and hit the drop down box here, transparent. Okay, Arial is fine. Let's go back into that one. And again, it'll be left and middle. All right. And then there's these two here. Okay, edit types. And they're at 1.8. No, I'll just make these a 2 mil again. Okay, and they're transparent and black and white. Right. Okay, let's again bring them over to the left and we will center them. Okay, oh, there you go. There's a separate one here. And again, probably that is a 2 mil and it is transparent already. Okay, so we're going to move that over to the left and to the middle. Now, what we can do is we can shape these up like so. We won't be using the square feet, so I could actually delete that if I wanted to be honest with you. Right, now, there's my... okay, I think that might need to be pulled out a little bit here. Right, so I'm going to do a file save as on that. And I'll just save it. And again, because I have my UK library accessible from my C drive, I'll go into annotations and tags. So we should have the room tags in here. Yeah, we got those there. So this will be, I'll just call this AT and underscore room tag. Right, okay. Now, so I made the new one. I'm going to load it into the project. Now it's in the project there, and I can close that down. Right, yeah, the next thing we want to do, the third thing, is we want to hit VV on the keyboard. We want to come down to rooms here. All right, and you want to turn on the interior fill in the reference. Right, and I'll show you the benefit of that as I start to put in the room levels. Okay, so let's test out our tag. So we'll go into room, and we'll drop down here, and we will pick the AT with metric area. Okay, and now you can see that it's coming up as 0 ground floor, and it's taken in this one as well. That's fine. And it's 2 mil, so it's readable without overtaking the space that's there. So I need to get in now and pick my room here, and this is going to be lobby, and it's probably going to be lobby 3, something like that. Okay, now I'll just do 2 more here while I'm here. Okay, so now you can see that the room is not enclosed here. And so you're going to have lots of things like this. Now, the reason the room is not enclosed is because we go in here and we can see that there's a gap happening here. So, we could pull this forward to there, and we can pull this forward to there. Okay. And we would probably need to do something like that here as well. Okay, and over here. Now, whether you pull the walls forward or whether you just box it out using plasterboard and studs is, that's up for question here. We could do that. Right, let's try that again. So, or we could have put in a room separator. All right. So I'm just going to show you this here. Now, it's still not enclosed. So I'm going to, now we need to solve these kind of problems as we come up against them. I'm going to undo all that. So rather than mess around with my structure, okay, I'm going to use my room separator, right? And I'm going to draw a room separator to the center of the wall here to here. Now, let's see if that'll work for us. Room. Okay, now we've got that happening there as well. Now, that's a little bit awkward, the way this is coming in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into that room tag. Okay, here's the AT1, and I'm going to edit that. Oh, not that one, sorry. No. AT room medium, wasn't that it? Edit. Okay, so just going to I'm going to take my 3 tags here and I'm going to move them over so that they're kind of more centered there. And also I'm going to take the room and move it up a little bit here as well, so that it's kind of spaced evenly in between those. I'll load that into the project and it'll override the existing. Yeah, that's a little bit better there now. Okay, so and this is entrance lobby. Now you can see that this is it's pretty manual, you know. So you need to leave yourself enough time to do this. Okay, I'll do this one here, which is our. Again, this will be a stair. So this is the ground floor stair area. Let's just come up here and do these two while I'm at it. So it's room. Okay, and there. Now we could if we find that these tags are a little too big, you have the option of going in and making any of the labels a little bit smaller in terms of the text. Okay, so that's going to be store, and I'll just call it store 1 for the moment, just to see that's store 1 on the ground floor, and then this one is going to be lift. Okay, so that's the ground floor lift area there. Right, and then now I know you guys probably have some rooms divided in here. I'm not going to do that just for the moment. Okay, so now you can see that this one is not enclosed, so we need to get our room separator here, and I think I have to go from somewhere like this all the way down here. Okay, yeah, all the way as far as here. Now let's try that room, and it still doesn't like it. So this is what I mean. You're going to have to spend time now to solve what's going on here, and I would suggest that let me just undo that. Okay, I'm going to undo that room separator there, right? And I'll just redo. So that has got the lift in. Now I'll come back into here. I'm going to do a room separator, and I'll use the rectangle tool here, and we'll just go from here all the way across to there. Now escape. Let's see if that'll work for us. Yeah, it does. Okay, so little things like that are handy enough, and we'll do something similar over there, and we'll just call this retail 1. Now you're going to have these kind of problems more or less the whole way up, so you definitely need to give enough time on this. The other thing I want to do here is in the units, okay, in the architectural or common units, I want to go into the area and I want 1 decimal place. Okay, so 0.2, 0.6, 0.9, 0.4, whatever. So it gives a little bit more accurate. Now we'll go into our room schedule here, and it's starting to build up here. So this is where, as we start to build up the rooms, we can go in and check for names. So if there is a wrong spelling or something like that, you can change it actually here. Or if you need to add in, if you had 2 lobby 2s or something like that, or 2 store 2s, you can change it here, and it'll update in the plans as well. So this is a really handy reference for you to work in conjunction as you start to place the rooms. You can come back in here, but also we can do our sorting and grouping. So we can sort by level, okay, and that's fine. So all the ground floor will come together, all the basements will come together as well. And then if we take a look at the ground floor, do you remember I went over to VV and down to rooms here, and I turned on the interior fill and the reference, so you can see that this is staying on. So normally when you they're by default turned off. So when you pop in the room, and you'll get the tag all right, but you don't get this coloring. So what that means is that if you turn the coloring on, you know you've got all the areas taken care of. All right. So you can go right through the whole building and do this, and then when you're finished with it, you can go back into that VV and turn off those two parameters. But it's a very handy way of being able to check to see that you're not missing a room or something like that as well. Now I'm going to go into section. I'll go into section 2 here. Okay, and we're going to tag room and tag room here. Now you can see that these pop up, all right, which is very handy. And here's the ground floor retail. And once you've got them tagged in the plan, you can use that tag room, and it'll immediately pop up here as well. And you need to do that for all of your sections as well. And again, a very handy thing is, again, I think this is room specific. Yeah, it is. So it's view specific. So we'll hit apply on that and turn these on. So that comes in handy, particularly in areas where there is kind of voids and things like that. So if I went and let me do a section through, we'll just do a section through the lift void, actually is where I want. So I'll do a section to the lift void. And I'll show you this. Okay, and we're going to hit VV on the keyboard and come down to rooms again. And we'll turn on both of those here. Okay, now you can see that the lift void, right, that's void the whole way through, but the room bounding, if you like, is picking up from there to there. Now, the next time you go in here, you might get a message to say that these are overlapping or something like that. But what you don't want, obviously, is this room to go all the way up into here or something like that. Okay, so you can, and again, you can spot that by turning on those two little parameters as you're in the business of putting in your rooms. All right. So go through each floor, and as I said, you can check through your. You might as well. I would have the sections open as well, the sections that you're going to be using for the project. So Pierce wants 2 building sections, one east to west and one north to south. And as you go through those, you can start adding in the room tags there as well. So we get a definition of what rooms are what in the section. And that's required. That's a default thing that's required in the industry. All right.